Welcome back and welcome to another book talk. I knew as soon as I finished listening, because I read this book on audiobook in the end, as soon as I finished reading this book, that I wanted to do a book talk about it because I just had so many thoughts on it and I enjoyed it so much, so I knew that I wanted to bring it to you and highlight it to you. This book was massive when it first came out, and I bought it when it first came out, and then I waited to read it, and I don't know why I waited to read it. And that book is Lobsters by Tom Ellen and Lucy Ivison. And the thing that pushed me to read it was that I got this book out of the library, which is the same book. They are exactly the same book. This is the US title and the US cover, and this is the UK title and the UK cover. Interestingly, this on audiobook has this cover with this title. So we have A Totally Awkward Love Story, but with the lobsters on the title. If you go to my Twitter feed, I tweeted a picture of it. I think I put it on my Instagram story as well, but obviously that's gone now. But yes, this book, getting that book out of the library by mistake was the push that gave me to read this book, and then I read it and I knew I wanted to talk to you all about it. So this is Sam and Hannah have just the summer before uni to find the one, their lobster. But fate works against them with awkward misunderstandings, the plotting of friends, and their own fears of being virgins forever. In the end though, it all boils down to love. I love that pun on the back because we got to do with lobsters and boiling. And so first of all, the premise behind this book. This book is set between finishing high school and going off to university. And I just think that that is such a pivotal time in people's lives. People go off on these big group holidays, people go off and start working, people go off and do summer programs, people sort of have the time to spend with their friends that they've been at school for 5 or 7 years with, and the friends don't always turn out to be the same as who you thought they were. And so I think it's such a time when things are changing, and so I love the fact that this book is set in that summer between secondary school and uni. Of course, you've got waiting for your exam results and the stress that comes with that. You've got relationships that have been together that you're thinking maybe won't last the test of time when you both go off to different universities in different parts of the country, and you've got those relationships which just might blossom into something else, and this is your last attempt to do that. So I love the fact that this book explores that time in young people's lives. Then we have the characters Sam and Hannah. Now at the beginning of the book they don't know each other, and so we have this kind of like meeting and what might happen, and then something doesn't happen, but then something might happen. And these characters, these poor little teenagers, 17 and 18 years old, have so much thrown at them. And I love the way that they deal with it. The way that they deal with it isn't necessarily always the right way, but it is completely relatable. I love the fact that both of these characters are so relatable. I could see my own friendship group in Hannah's friendship group. I could see boys that I went to school with in Sam's friendship group. I could see the mentality behind it. And added to this, of course, we've got the likes of Facebook and texting and what the messages mean and the pressures that social media bring to young people and how they want to be. And so I really loved the characters in this book. They were so relatable and they really did have a lot thrown at them. And then the third thing that really impressed me about this book was that this is a high school to university, high school to college story that's set in the UK. Again, it was so relatable because I could picture my own kind of time between uni and high school in this book because it was set in the UK. I love the fact we've got, you know, plenty of these books set in the US of this kind of like going from high school to uni or just starting out uni kind of time. but not enough set in the UK. And so this book is important because it showcases something that I can relate to as somebody who went through that in the UK. And that's the third thing that I really love about this book. This book made me laugh. This book made me cringe. I was literally sat there finishing listening to the audiobook going, oh no. And, you know, if a book can bring out that kind of emotion in you and that kind of roller coaster of emotion, for me, it took me back to that time and I was there living it with them. For other readers, I'm sure that this will be something that they are looking forward to. And for other readers, it could be something that they are going through because this is this time of year. Exams are finishing. We're waiting for results. We're waiting to see if we got into uni. This is now the time. So I loved this book and it was important for those 3 ways that I outlined, and I definitely recommend reading this one. Whether you pick up this copy or the combo audiobook, definitely this needs to go on your summer TBR if you haven't read it already. If you have read this book, I would love to hear in the comments if you agree with the things that I'm saying about it, because I'd love to have a discussion about people with this book. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really enjoyed talking about this book because I loved it so much. And if you are not already, please do subscribe to me. I would love to have you on board. I have another video coming up soon talking about the fact that these have different titles and different covers, and other books that have different titles and different covers, so you don't want to miss that. I will see you with that video. Thanks very much for watching.